Okay, Dunlop Kart Tyres and Distributors present the Junior National Pro Race. It's up and running. And it's going to be a fascinating battle to the finish. Reynolds has got the best start. Hodge has been tagged badly. And they've all come into contact with each other. It's going to be a massive fight to get through to the end corner. One of them's not going. One of them just didn't make it through and has pulled out. Lost it. I reckon it's a clutch kart and he couldn't restart it. Okay. Hazelwood from Reynolds. Oh, Reynolds thought about it. He was going to go to the lead early. So Hazelwood on the carby. Cameron Reynolds right there in the attack. And Reynolds just had a bit of contact on the back of Hazelwood and lost all his momentum in a straight line, which put Simon Hodge back into the equation. Hodgie slides it in on Reynolds and really had to fight hard to hold on to that position because Cameron Reynolds wasn't going to yield on the outside and really made it difficult for both the drivers to get back to throttle. That's allowed Hazelwood to get away, similar to what we saw in the clubroom race. Okay, long race, long battle. The one we've got to keep an eye on is young Spokesy to see where he's going. He's down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at the moment. So on to the start finish. 19 laps on the board. Todd Hazelwood, Simon Hodge. Anthony Rigolo's really pacey and really pacey early. So Rigolo's up into fourth. Cameron Reynolds is waving to Rigolo to follow and chase, not to continue to attack. And that's one of the problems we'll have is if they attack too early, they mess each other up and they lose track of the leaders. So as a result, Rigolo's just been passed by the 8 kart of Bergens. Bergens was really strong at the end of the run in the pre-final in the 8. Bergens has a look to see where Rigolo is in the 42. And Blaine Grills in the 48 is having an absolute ripper run. Okay, big news is that Simon Hodge is closing that gap on the back of Todd Hazelwood as they go up into the Wakefield turn. So Hazelwood's got the clubman race, and I reckon Hodge would like to repay him. Hodgie's really pacey. He's going to go straight past Hazelwood right now. So Hodgie's got plenty of pace. So Hazelwood goes into second place. Simon Hodge picks up the race lead. So Paul Dankowski, you've turned that switch on. Let's hope he hasn't turned it on too early. So Paul Dankowski does the tuning for Simon Hodge, along with Neil Hodge. So here we go, end of the straight, Simon Hodge. And Todd Hazelwood in the 14, Simon Hodge in the 41. Cameron Reynolds in the 38 in third place. Just that 10th every now and again, just can't seem to close that gap down. Anthony Rigolo's got himself back into fourth place on the road. I'm not too sure what unfurled there whether Luke Bergens has had a moment somewhere, but Luke Bergens looks like he was settled for the run, and now Anthony Rigolo's back in the equation. The big news is that Jake Spokes has got through the traffic nicely and is now in the top 10. So Jake Spokes is really turning it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's in 9th position, Spokesy, and he two-wheeled it over the curb just to say, "G'day, Barry, I'm on a mission." So young Jake Spokes, who got penalised the whole field, didn't have a transponder on at the end of the pre-final after winning it, has to start all over again. And Spokes will get the run down the inside. Yes, he does. That's for 8th position on the track. So Jake's on the move. Let's hope he's been tuned. Adrenaline would be pushing him along. So it's going to be a massive drive for Spokes, but he's got the laps on his side. But it just depends how much dicing goes on the front. Simon Hodge is leading the race from Todd Hazelwood in the 14, from Cameron Reynolds in the 38. A little bit further back is Anthony Rigolo in the 42. So Anthony Rigolo setting good pace. Luke Bergens right there. Luke Bergens' go-kart, like I said earlier, was very, very good in the pre-final towards the end of the run. We'll just wait to see how they all unfurl. So Simon doing all the little things, ducking his head and working the go-kart as hard as he can. Todd Hazelwood does the same as they head down the straight. Hazelwood just runs the back wheel over the curb and just picks it up in the air to show us his underbelly as he comes off the bottom, as he comes off of turn 1. Down through the S is the red driving suit of Simon Hodge, leading the blue plate, blue 14 of Hazelwood. Hazelwood, I was really tempted to go down under brakes, but he didn't. So Luke Bergen starting to close the gap on the back of Anthony Regolo. They come onto the straight. So top end of the circuit, Simon Hodge continues to lead from Todd Hazelwood. What's interesting is that Cameron Reynolds is now getting right into the action. Cameron's right there on the same pace as the guys in front. Whether Simon's just bringing him back momentarily, or will Cameron's go-kart's just getting better. The language in Cameron's go-kart says his go-kart's getting better. It looks like the switch has come on in that go-kart and it's just starting to really perform nicely for him. 12 on the blackboard, not quite half race distance. Hodge heads down the straight. Had a good clean lap that time. He just got about a half a kart length on him. Todd Hazelwood down through the S's, right on the back of Simon Hodge with Cameron Reynolds. Jake Spokes has now got onto the back of Luke Bergen, so Spokes is continuing his run through traffic. And there'll be a lap, and I reckon he'll be attacking. So half race distance for Spokes, and he is really pushing it along. He got right onto the back of Bergen's, and he's really pushing it along. He won't catch Bergen's in a straight line, I'd imagine. Bergen's has generally got a lot of horsepower. Oh yes, he can. He's got very, very determined. So Spokes is up 1. He's into 5th position on the road, and Anthony Regolo's in front of him. So let's see if Spokes he can get past Anthony nice and cleanly and continue his chase on the pack. So while I'm looking at what Spokes is doing, Todd Hazelwood picked up the race lead. So Todd Hazelwood's gone back into the race lead from Simon Hodge, from Cameron Reynolds. It's going to be fascinating how it unfurls. So Hazelwood wants to lead at this stage. Hodge ducks his head on Hazelwood, continues to chase. Lap traffic's going to hope he doesn't play a part in it. So he needs to hop out of the race. I'll just catch him at the wrong place. I reckon I'll catch him in the S's, which might be a bit of a problem. So, yep, everybody gets through safely, so that's the end of the race there. So Hazelwood from Hodge, from Reynolds, and Spokes just got past Regolo in that move. And Spokes is waving Regolo on, saying, come on, let's go, let's chase. Spokesy up into 4th, super drive, really is. That's from the back of the grid, guys. So Jake Spokes, 9. I reckon he can get there, Clance. I reckon he can get there. And so Clancy reckons Hodge's go-kart just came on too, so it's going to be exciting. There's 9 on the blackboard, so the last 8, so it's going to be pretty exciting stuff. So Hodge's go-kart's come on. You can see that he's pushing Hazelwood along like you wouldn't believe. So Hazelwood now under serious attack again from Simon Hodge. He cannot get rid of him. So Hodge, Hazelwood, onto the straight they come. There's nothing in it. You can see that the nose cones under number plates as they come down the straight. So Hazelwood from Hodge, from Reynolds. Spokes continues to close on the gap in front of him. Spokes, he needs the guys in front to pass once or twice to give him a shot at getting near the front group. So here we go, 8 laps on the board. And Hazelwood will be pedalling the bike like you wouldn't believe right now. He's got on his bike and he'll have to start pedaling it. And you can see that the 2 leaders are just starting to pull away from Cameron Reynolds and just starting to break that toe. Hazelwood just protects that corner awfully carefully. Just quarter of a kart protecting that middle hairpin as he comes onto the straight. So that's the corner. He knows where Hodgie's good, and Hodgie likes to pass, so he needs just to protect that one corner. Hodgie's very strong in a straight line also, so they're all looking pretty good. Top end of the circuit. Hazelwood's had a really good lap. He just pulled out a little bit on him, and we'll just see where Spokesy is. Spokesy just quite hasn't got enough to close it down. So here we go, 7. It'll be 6 next time round. Todd Hazelwood in 14, Simon Hodge in 41, and they've just been at each other all weekend long. Hodgie sets the cart up early for the turn in, and Hazelwood rolls off the throttle just a little bit later. So Hazelwood brings it around. Simon Hodge in 41 right there on his tail. Cameron Reynolds comes through in the 38. Jake Spokes gives it a little bit of fuel as he heads down the straight. Spokes, he hasn't surrendered. He's actually towing everybody else along. Those guys behind Spokes, he's probably doing the quickest laps of their lives. It's really exciting stuff here today. So top end of the circuit, Hazelwood ducks his head as Hodge continues to pursue. Cameron Reynolds is having an absolute ripper today. And here goes Hodge. Gee, he thought about it. He was going to do it, but he just held off. So 5 laps remain. Hazelwood leads from Hodge, from Reynolds. Just bring it around the sweeper. Todd Hazelwood brings it onto the straight in the 14. Simon Hodge ducks behind the steering wheels. They go down the straight, get to the end of the circuit, and Hazelwood takes them out to Wakefield turn and brings them back. So a little bit more left in Hazelwood's go-kart now, it looks thing, and Reynolds has all of a sudden got very, very quick also, so Reynolds is starting to climb over the back of Hodge. Hodge is just been caught where I think he's doing the same lap times as he was 2 laps ago, and the others have all of a sudden got a fraction quicker for some unknown reason. So Hazelwood brings it around. Hodge in second place, Reynolds in third. As they head down the straight. And Spokes has ran out of go-kart. He just didn't have enough go-kart to get himself up onto the race lead, and that's understandable given the massive distance that he had to travel. So 4 laps remain. There'll be 3 next time round, and Hazelwood brings it down hard under brakes. Simon Hodge closes. So does Cameron Reynolds. They all trail smoke together. They go back to throttle. I reckon Simon Hodge is a little bit rich again. He had that problem in an earlier race, but it's smoking all the time now. So I reckon Hodgie got it a fraction rich momentarily. You can see it's trailing smoke all the way back onto the straight. So I reckon Hodgie's just got it a little bit rich, but it doesn't seem to be hurting his run onto the straight. So Todd Hazelwood, probably Hodge had the better of the 2 laps that time round as they attack the top corner. There'll be 2 on the blackboard next time round. That'll really get them excited. And Hodgie's just absolutely wringing the neck out of it to see what he can get out of it. Oh, I tell you what, I swear he was going to go for it then. Hazelwood's missed the apex of the corner, held himself down to put Reynolds back into the equation. So Reynolds now goes to second place. Hodgie won't be happy with Reynolds getting in between because he's just given Hazelwood that little gap that he wanted. So here we go. Reynolds will chase. He'll have to go very hard with 2 on the board. He's having a big look behind him. So Reynolds right on the back of Hazelwood, but the go-kart wasn't as good across the apex of the corner as what Hazelwood was. So our top end of the circuit, we see this is the first time we've had Reynolds challenging Hazelwood other than in the outlap. So here we go. Can he close the gap? Or will Hodgie have to go past? Hodgie has to go past. He thinks he's a little bit faster than what Reynolds is. Reynolds just took the opportunity on the lap before, so last lap board will be presented, and they need to bump draft if they're going to get there. So Hazelwood will go through. He's got 3 kart lengths onto the straight. Hodge will have to do it by himself as Reynolds goes through with him. Hazelwood leads him up into Wakefield turn. So Todd Hazelwood having a ripper. He'll pick up the double. He's got the clubman race earlier today, so he should be able to pick up. He's just had a big look behind him. He'd be feeling confident now, just seeing where his main arrival is in Simon Hodge. And I tell you what, Reynolds just had a quick look at Hodgie too as they came around, but discretion was the best part of valour for those 2. So here we go. Checkered flag will come out. Great result for Junior Pro and Dunlop. And Todd Hazelwood takes the win from Simon Hodge and Cameron Reynolds. Jake Spokes very happy with his performance, and a big lock-up down the end of the straight from Anthony Rigolo, and Luke Bergens goes through from Jonathan French from Blaine Grills. Scotty Matheson comes through with Luke Marcus, and Josh Angus comes through. We'll pick up the last 2 guys running on the circuit.